The developer of it is very nice, very kind, but it does have the odd Thanos snap, and if you watched me, Cassia, a couple of months ago, the odd random teleport. But it is still very good. We're good! We're into the draft! First ban, let's go! It is going to be washed up with the first ban.
All right, so Vikings calling it right now. Nope, Garrosh, unlucky. Vikings?
Garrosh banned out early.
Junkrat! No Hasu Junkrat.
We have the Junkrat taken away, like you said, is very scary. It is a good map. We talked about the double rotations earlier, so jumping between lanes with Junkrat, especially once you get Ripper Air, is a really big deal. So that is going to be very helpful. And now then, second ban. Again, Abathur might be banned out. I'm not sure we'll see Vikings in first ban rotation. We're going to see ETC banned out. So let's see where we go with this.
About
Medivh's
time.
also still available.
I think this is on. This is big brain plays by the side of Washed Up, knowing that they'll have to pretty much just force Swedish House Mafia to ban the Vikings. If not, then they'll pick it, unless, you know, that's just kind of like an NA thing. We'll have to see. It's gonna be the Mediv ban instead. So, do we see them?
Rip
It's now the time. We've seen lots of Vikings in the scrim clubs that have been happening throughout the week. Are they showing it now, or are we going to pick for something? D.Va, again, still available. We could see our first Gazlo. That would be super exciting. It's going to be the D.Va.
D.Va is so strong at the moment. D.Va and Yorel in terms of offlaners are incredible. So seeing that D.Va early, very sensible here. They don't need to pick the Vikings yet. In fact, they don't need to pick them at all. It's the threat of them being here that's always going to be on the minds of Swedish House Mafia, who right now are just drafting standard. It is Chromie and Deckard Kane, so they're going for a little bit of more siege on their side, poke and interrupt for those altars.
So much Chromie this evening. She's so strong right now. And Blizzard even nerfed her. And everyone was saying, oh, Chromie's not even going to be good anymore. She was good for that 1 week. And she's still insane. Blizz, please. We nerfed her to the ground. Like, please, put her back with Genji. We're going to see that Abathur come out and be Johanna from OK Mech, which once again is Cure from North America. Just gonna call them by their in-game name is to not confuse anyone.
Exactly. So the Abathur coming out. This is cool to see. No Vikings. They're trying to remove the Vikings because Chromie. So very sensible to get those Vikings just all the way out of here. Abathur a much safer split soaker here. The fact that it's less likely to get popped in one shot and to give Chromie 3 stacks because they'll be behind a gate, which means it's a little bit of guesswork as to where they are. Also, the Abathur, if they go for full symbiote build, is going to be insane with D.Va. That is going to be bully level potential. If it's Mayan build, they can control the map very well. The shield build, they're going to be able to protect D.Va out of mech. There is so much potential for this duo, and of course, Johanna is the ultimate chaos carrier to bring the hat into the enemy backline and cause maximum damage output for Abathur.
Hat on Olaf. You won't. Hat on Olaf.
With attack speed with the stuns. Let's go.
Yeah. We get Norse Force, and then you go like the mini hat.
The Hive Mind? Hell yeah. That was amazing.
Hat Olaf.
Unfortunately, they don't have another Vikings player, I'm pretty sure. It would be very silly to see.
I mean, they're all Grandmasters, right? So they all should play Abathur, like...
Probably. So that would be Vikings, which means they would have no range. The Vikings would have to be the range damage dealer, or Abathur would have to be the support. We're going to see Sylve and Lucio.
Sad trombone. Lucio is here, and that's super exciting. Makes sense for the Diablo now. Gonna be the Banana H. Picking up that Lucio. Quick rotations away, but Skoog on the Chen. We've seen it a couple of times in some other cups, and it's always pretty nasty.
The Vala here. No double support, but they have Tyrael and potentially enough to share later on Chen, which will give Vala that little bit of extra sustain, which will allow her to actually do that hyper carry style without being threatened as much, especially seeing as the dive is currently D.Va and maybe later Johanna, and of course, late game, we've seen what Nick can do on this Sylph. But very cool to see here. This is likely going to be a sanctification build, as much as we do love Judgment. Unlikely to see it here, because there's not enough follow-up outside of Chromie, which I guess they could do. But I think that Sank to keep Valor alive through these fights is going to be a very big deal, because they need someone to kill that Sylph. And otherwise, on the other side, the Lucio with double frontline, the D.Va and the Johanna is going to be very effective. And I'm going to ask you a question because I don't know the answer. If Abba clones D.Va with the mech, if the mech dies, does clone D.Va pop out?
That's a very good question. I don't know the answer to that.
I'm going to watch chat, and they will almost certainly tell me the answer as we're going to get set up and prepare for game number 1 of our quarterfinals. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. On the left-hand side, Jinxie. I almost gave you the Swedish players.
I can't speak good, so I have to say small names. It is going to be Hasiwabs on that Abathur. Masquerade will be your Johanna. OK Mech, aka Cure, on that D.Va. Banana H is going to be your Lucio, and then Nick on the Sylvanas.
It's so terrifying on that Sylvanas. It's going to be fun to watch. As on the right-hand side, Swedish House Mafia, with Maka playing the Vala. Skoog is going to be on the Chen. Galnaguna is on the Deckard Kane. Gia on the Chromie. And it is going to be Burger, aka Bergolt, on that Tyrael. Let's get this going. Immediate dive by Skoog. But OK Mech going to be very effective here. They have so many little interrupts for the Brew. That's why they went for Lucio. One of the multiple reasons they went for Lucio is that final pick. For starters, percentage healing is going to be huge here as Maka rolls for freedom. Masquerade gets sanded and popped out. Nick has to teleport away. But having that percentage healing is going to be a very big deal. And having that boop, a very low cooldown, little stun, little CC, to interrupt that Brew is going to be a very big deal.
So one thing I'd like to point out is this is the first team comp we've seen this evening where the ranged DPS are the only heroes to have the potential for CC. And then like Deckard with the poop and stick. Like that's it for the side of Swedish House Mafia.
Yeah, there's the heroics, of course, like Chen level 20 roots, and obviously we could have Judgment. Play could be there, Judgment Chromie burst. But like you say, yeah, the majority of the CC is gonna be coming from the supports and the ranged. Cool to see.
Are gonna see everybody just try and grab these Sapper camps, try and pick up that soak that is the name of the game on Towers of Doom. He who controls the bottom lane controls the map. Quick rotate down from the side of Swedish House Mafia to clear out the Sappers of Washed Up, and quite the same for Washed Up. They're going to drop those black arrows, making sure none of those pumpkins get through, because big pumpkins, like early from level 1, if you get all 3 pumpkins in, you can take a tower and most of the front gate.
Very true. We do see Ruby! Ruby's finally going to get picked even with the new nerf. They have 2 very heavy die heroes in the form of Chen and Tyrael, so that makes a lot of sense to get those on the board and keep them sustained. We do have the rush it down, standard stuff. Also, full metal for D.Va, because she's just going to get free autos on Skoog, which is going to give her a very high amount of sustain as the game goes on. Also, chat has caught up and have answered the whether the clone will pop D.Va out, and the answers go as such. Yes, no, maybe, winky face. I think I'm going with yes. Those are the answers in order, so we have no idea, quite frankly, as Chen is slain in the top lane.
It's going to be a really hard off lane for Chen, and he's basically 2v1 against almost 3 health bars with that Abathur hat on the D.Va. I mean, there's one way to answer our question, and we can just ask, just say, hey, Hasu, will you clone D.Va so we can answer a question for science?
Pause the game and just type as a referee. Hey. How's this work? No, we're not allowed to interfere with the players. We will let them be, but maybe maybe after the game, we will ask them, or maybe we will get to see it. But now, Burger trying to zone for Gia because Gia is getting zoned out. This will be a 2-for-1 if they can cap it, but right now it doesn't look like they're actually trying to. They're just delaying it so that they can split soak.
Feels bad, man. No gentleman's agreement. You just let the other offlane cap it. That's how it's supposed to be. We are going to see those sappers spawn back up again for both sides. So a little bit of soak here in this middle lane before the teams will rotate down to pick those pumpkins up. Nice dodge there by Nick. Scoog jumping in and doing a ton of damage. D.Va having to drop the mech explosion there. Not connecting onto anybody. Still a relatively long charge up rate to catch anyone. Not as long as it used to be, I believe.
I don't actually remember. I don't remember what the patch notes said about that. It definitely does less damage, which is like you said. So a little bit sadder. Nuclear Option is a talent though that no one picks, sadly, despite it being one of the more fun talents that I've seen.
Yeah. Maybe one day. Maybe they'll buff it up and it'll get a little bit better. I do see we have some questions in chat. It is going to be Cure on OK Mech. Thank you, Chromag. And then Elite Sparkle answering our own question saying, jokes aside, Pilot D.Va doesn't pop out from the clone.
Thank you. Thank you for covering us there as Masquerade goes in looking for Masquerade, but neither one is going to fall.
Alter is spawning down here in the bottom once again. Pumpkins picked up and cleared. No value from either pumpkin so far. And one thing I'd like to point out, it's interesting to see how the pros play this compared to the rest of us, because neither side has opted for a double soaking off lane who can just dominate the bottom lane. So interesting to see different styles of play coming out here.
Yeah, we've been seeing a little bit of the top mid rotation, but D without that cooldown reduction on dash, it is making up for it and is helping out as best she can, but she's not a fast rotator, which is why we are seeing a lot of roams, like you say, from bot to mid as well, so we're not seeing that bot lane domination. Good interrupt by Gia there. So in the meantime, okay, Mech trying to zone away, but is low on health and doesn't have that Mech ready yet. Gets a quick heal out from Lucio, which will help a lot.
I'm not a fan of Banana H channeling there. The reason being because well, level 10's online now for both teams. Chromie pinged from a distance, relatively short cooldown to do so, and then put his team into a 4v5 there, and now they're looking a little bit worse for wear. D.Va does have that bomb available. Out come the micro missiles. Chromie stopping both herself and D.Va there. Is going to go over to the side of Washed Up. Eventually, D.Va does go down. Scoog potentially in a little bit of trouble. Pops the Panda Pals. There goes Lucio. And that is going to be a 2 for nothing. Or 2 for the Alter. Traded over to Swedish House Mafia.
The Panda body block there. Hasselwob's autoing some minions. Is going to tunnel up to top lane and get the XP there as well. Massive soaking value there from Hasu. Seeing Chen, he even knows he can get a little bit of extra up here and will do so, hatting mid. We can, in terms of experience, Hasu has been doing such a fantastic job so far. 6,000. Next highest is Chen as that double soaker for his team on 5,900, almost a 4,000 below.
Are going to see Hasu finally back out here. Locust comes out, and with Chen being in the top lane, you don't want to be there. This kills the Abathur. So just going to pick up the pumpkins now. Everybody back on the side of Washed Up, and they can continue to crawl in this bottom lane. Lucio getting stopped by that time trap, however, missed time on those. Sand Blast allows them to escape with relative ease. It's hard to lock down Lucio. He's fast.
He is fast, #1 player killer hero. Also, actually, Lucio is one of the best hat targets for Abathur, just due to the fact that he just bullies and you can't kill him. It is very funny to see, as we do see Maka dropping a little bit of health to the micro missiles, but not enough to kill him, and is already topped back up by Deckard Kane.
Playing against a good Lucio is just so difficult. He's just always on your butt. You're trying to walk away, you've got 3 health, and just like this, like, come on, man. I can only imagine. Scoog is just trying to channel. We have the rest of the members of Swedish House Mafia coming to chase off Banana H. Looks like they're also trying to get the interrupt onto D.Va a little bit. Out come the micro missiles. The boss has been aggroed. And this should just be the 1-for-1 trade.
Yep, Chen finally channels, but the sheer pressure. Abathur even put some mines underneath Chen as he started channeling, forcing him to cancel a second time. That is just how much bullying we're seeing. But still, despite that, it is a relatively even game. Core health is exactly the same. Kill count, 1 kill difference. That is not even reflected in the XP as both teams hit level 13 almost simultaneously.
Now that you mention it, first of all, great job by the teams. We're going to look here, see anything of note. We do have that remorselessness coming out for Sylvanas, increasing the basic attacks and having that extra damage on the Banshee's Curse, shooting out the untalented Withering Fire. That does also apply the Banshee's Curse. We are going to see the Medallion come out here from Nick. Out comes Blessed Shield, does not connect. Drops the beat. Out is the Sanctification, and now the team is looking to turn it around on Swedish House Mafia. Scroll of Stealing is good. Mac drops out of the mech. Nick very, very low. Hasu Obs does lose the clone. Out comes the big shot. Is going to be Banana H going down there. 1-for-0. Swedish House Mafia, insane team fight.
That was so good. Gal Naguna was dropped to less than a fifth of his health, and he survived due to the combination of Sanctification from Tyrael, followed up by the speed boost from Tyrael with that swift retribution, and then he got all his own rubies and just pieced out, turned around and slept everyone. He should have died there, but Tyrael keeping him alive. Burger with the incredible saves.
Is going to be a lot of ultimates used out here. Only micro missiles and the slowing stance available here. Jinxeekatt just going to get this without any contention. Up in the top, we are going to see D.Va and Chen get into it. Make gonna start the channel, but here comes the members of Washed Up. Chromie trying to poke them out. Nick doing the same with his extra long attack range.
He's gonna get a lot of pressure. He pulls Skoog all the way back with the Haunting Wave. Interrupts the Panda Pals. And that is a really good bait coming in from Washed Up. Sound Barrier comes out so they can push through this Chromie damage to dive the backline. The nuke, it body blocks Maka, who is going to be slain by the diving Hasuobs as they pick up those kills. What a play. Nick is deep looking for the kills. He's the real Sylvanas, but he can't find the kill. The sand is too much. Nick is pressured, but he will survive. Hang on the route. Okay, he's out.
Just when we thought Swedish House Mafia had a phenomenal turnaround by the side of Washed Up, we're now going to turn around and get the aggressive camp on the other side here. So it was kind of, everybody still picked up their camp, just they swapped sides now. Hasu getting a ton of push up here in the top. Gosh. Washed Up has an annoying team call. Like, I was playing against this. It just, ugh. Out comes the Black Arrows. This bottom fort is not going to be long for this world. Gonna go down here. Blessed Shield does come out onto Burger and Galna Gunner. Sanctification is good, and now the members of Washed Up are being chased out from underneath their own fort. Not set up quite yet. Nick gets out at a max range Banshees, and that is going to be just the D.Va going down.
They got the kill. They now have minions set up here, and they're going to be able to try and reclaim this bell tower before the next objective spawns. This is good timing for Swedish House Mafia. Still in this game, kill lead, but level disadvantage because it's really starting to make a difference now. 13,000 experience soaked by Abathur, 8,000 by D.Va. They are soaking beautifully here. Chen is on 11,000 though. Skoog almost single-handedly keeping his team in this game in the soak game.
Being able to run up, grab that soak, and then come down and team fight, because he's not Abathur. He can't just like clone in and be like, "What's up, guys? I'm here too." Really well done. Just the knowledge of the map, the decision making to help the team stay. I mean, they're basically even now. Well done. Just amazing play by Skoog. It's the little things like that that separate the master players from the pros.
One ultimate left. Wave clear and camp clear being done while they are trying to contest this by Swedish House Mafia. Rubies come out all over the point. Vala's going to try and put some pressure on. Gets a free ruby and a little shield. They're trying to get what they can here. Maka is very far forward, the furthest on the team. This might be a bait style here. Trying to make something happen there. In the meantime, Hasu moves up in top lane, going to grab some experience. Scoot moves forward, Burger moves forward. They dive deep, they get Nick this time.
The sound barrier just a little bit too slow. Out comes Blessed Shield. The D.Va mech is good. All members of Swedish House Mafia are going to get hit by it, but it's not enough. Masquerade falling so low. Out comes that strafe from Vala. Lucio will fall as well, and only Masquerade making it out alive here.
Very nearly does it. If they killed that gate a little bit quicker, they might have seen him porting and interrupt. It was a risky call, but he does make it back. He will heal. In the meantime, Hasu's doing Abatha things. He is getting pushed, but it's going to be a bell tower claimed in bot lane. Teriel delaying his cap. In fact, he's going to cancel the cap here in order to make someone else come get it so they can guarantee that they get that bell tower and get the extra shot here. 5 shots coming in. Chen saved top lane to guarantee that extra shot, and they're going to be able to come out and pull themselves into a pretty solid lead, bringing Washed Up down to 15 health.
Such an even game this series, the game that we deserve. Anybody's chance to win it right now. We're gonna see Pumpkins picked up here, and you know, honestly, I had to check to see if this could potentially be. I knew it wasn't because we have the alt Evo, but the way Hasu's playing, this could be a monstrosity game. You know,
he is the monstrosity. You're always pushing. Saving the lane. You can see them now clearing out minions, trying to buy themselves some time as there is a pumpkin camp on the way. Vision gained by Chromie, who did go for the Time Walker's Pursuit, by the way, just to gain that vision, to make sure they're not being flanked at any point. Sappers, none make it in, disabled and sniped, and Masquerade, though, gets bopped with the Ancient Blessings.
Really seeing the effects of that nerf on the Iron Skin there. The extra 5 seconds mean you have to be so careful with it. The Chromie slows just a little bit too much, and that's a staggered death.
Nicely done. That's a big deal for Swedish House Mafia. 8 kills to 3, by the way. D.Va, as they hit level 20, ablative armor versus Vala Chromie. That's gonna be a big deal. 45% of spell damage dealt to D.Va's mech is returned as healing over 4 seconds. That could be huge in these team fights. Banana Rage tries to bump it. That mech looking in a little bit of trouble now. No spells here, just autos. Banana Rage gets sanded, but will survive. None of the sappers make it in, but bot bell tower is still claimed, but top was counterclaimed by Abatha.
Back to the old 4v4. I definitely think that that D.Va at level 20 is going to help out against the Chromie. Mostly going to be auto attack damage from the Vala. No Chad build Vala, but we do have that Manticore every 3rd basic attack against the same hero, doing 5% of their maximum health. I don't care how much spell armor you have, that hurts.
Material. Wailing Arrow was dropped. They tried to take it. Stay a while, just catching Johanna's pinky toe, but it's not enough to finish any kills. Both tanks pressured, neither one slain. 11 health left for Washed Up, 18 for the side of Swedish House Mafia. And finally, Nick gets some freedom, moves onto the map, and they're going to be able to reclaim that bell tower. But in the meantime, boss attempt coming in here, and there's no way this can be contested.
Going to be another 4 shots going out onto the core of Washed Up. And now the team has to turn their priority towards this top lane, get it back, make things even. All the while, Washed Up just going to take the sappers. They know that there are 2 members busy with the top lane. They're going to even Abather had it, make sure it stays up as long as possible. Washed Up now looking for this bottom fort.
Mech Explosion is available. Gonna pop it just in time, eat some sand in the process, but that will be enough. All the sappers are popped, though. That feels a little bad. Chase comes in, not able to catch anyone. Chen looks like he was thinking of wrapping around, but he's scouted by the mines of Hasu. By the way, Chen went for Purifying Brew. 1.5 seconds of Unstoppable plus Medallion means he is going to be very hard to pin down, and it's going to be harder to knock him out his brew.
should also be able to get the Panda Pals off significantly easier. We are going to see a huge chunk of damage come out onto Burger there on that Tyrael, so very low. And now they're going to have to contest this altar phase. If they get it, they'll only get 2 shots on the side of Swedish House Mafia, and it looks like nobody's going to interrupt Banana 8, so that's just going to be 6 shots on the core. 1/3 of the core health just evaporated.
Scoo kicks his way to freedom via a minion. Will survive, but look at this. This is the This is the 6 cap. If they can get to this, because top clear was interrupted, meaning that if this goes down, Chen has to race this now, and he can't do that. But with Sylv not showing on the map, they're instead going to look to pressure bot lane, because they know the second the enemy team leaves mid, they get that. Okay, Mech, gonna push this up, minion wave and all. He's actually just going to take this with micro missiles. He just grabs that. That's the triple cap. And the race top lane. Will they get it before the shots? Yes, they do.
Great play by Swedish House Mafia. They're not out of the woods yet, though. That's still 5 big shots that will be headed towards the core if they lose the next objective here.
Well, Shield diving into the death zone. Rude. Deckard does not catch Johanna.
Braxxis trying to zone away with that defense matrix. Make sure everybody gets out nice and safe. Nobody on the side of Swedish House Mafia doing too much damage, and now it's all about the defense. Luckily, Swedish House Mafia do have the Chromie, so they will be able to just kind of chunk away from this at a distance. And as far as Dragon Breath goes, not a whole lot anyone can do to avoid that. It does do damage in an area, so even if you soak it, you're just soaking 3 damage. This isn't World of Warcraft. And yeah, it looks like this will go down eventually despite the best efforts. Chromie just has a free path to that keep, and slowly but surely is going to get it. Meanwhile, though, this 6 cap with the sappers, we have the sappers, we have the bottom lane, we have 2 altars to fight over. Really tough position for Swedish House Mafia.
6 damage onto the core. If they lose this altar or let the sappers go in, they are going to be in serious trouble, going to be dropped down. If this altar is capped, they're down to 2. If the sappers make it in, they are over. But it was claimed by Swedish House Mafia. They will survive, and they will make it down in time for the sappers. Swedish House Mafia still alive.
7-4. Boss wins this for Swedish House Mafia. However, triple cap still definitely within the grasp of Wash. We'll have to see how they're going to play this, what can be done here, as this just seems to be an inescapable defense. The Mule coming out, healing the fort back up. So and then this is great by OK Mac or Cure, just standing in front of the keep here, trying to dodge the Sandblast. Just eat it. You have that level 20 that reduces the spell power. It's gonna make it so hard. If Chromie has to ping at a 12-second cooldown to get this, you can keep them here for quite a while.
They are just trying to hold and delay Chromie, though. They get it with the triangles. Scroller ceiling finishes it. Skoog dives deep. They're trying to use that as their trigger. OK Mech has the explosion, has the nuke. Gonna drop it, rolls away with ready to go. Silence onto Chen, who is deleted. And it's a bell tower for a Chen, maybe more, but they can't catch Gia.
60-second death timer could not be worse timing. Have to take the 5v4 here. Nick even gonna grab these sappers, trying to get a little bit of extra pressure onto that bottom tower. And this is also really tough for the side of Washed Up, because 1 altar for the members of Swedish House of Mafia wins this. 2 altars will win it for Washed Up. So could be ended here, could not. We'll have to see how it's played out as Gia immediately starts the channel.
No ultimate evolution, so this is going to be a single hat Abathur style. D.Va begins to channel. She's allowed to get it as the full commitment is put onto this bot lane. There's the sack. No one uses that chance to channel. They use it to try and take the fight. Masquerade with the wraparound. Bless shield comes out. Banana H trying to focus onto Gul'dan. Maka gets the strafe but zoned away. Gul'dan is all alone here and is taken out. The mech is gone. Maka is so low, but Banana H is channeling. There's the boot from D.Va. Concussive blast. It buys them the time they need. That is going to be game as the shots are taken by Washed Up. and they are able to take game number 1.
Not even a GG from the side of we Swedish House Mafia. You can tell they're devastated.
That was so much of a close game. I've never seen D.Va's Concussive Blast win a game before. That's value. That's good to go. Talent value there.
I didn't even consider the concussive blast. I know that's pretty much the standard pick at 13. Look at these stats. 8 to 10, so very close, similar across the board. Huge damage coming out from Vala, 129k, compared to Hasuabs, who has the most damage, funnily enough, on the Abathur with 71,000. Just a little bit more impactful there from Hasu. And I think the lack of CC on the side of Swedish House Mafia is what really did it in for them. They just
Yeah,
didn't have the interrupts like the side of Washed Up did.
Yeah, they didn't even go for the extra CCs at level 20. Those roots on the upgraded Panda Pals, for example. They just went for the cleanse. We didn't even see Panda Pals in the last fight. Chen just got bopped. He just got eaten alive. And a large part of that is due to, again, we've seen him just get value on this hero every time he gets it. Nick on that Sylvanas. The damage output he is dealing in these fights, and also the fact that he has the best wave clear of almost anyone in this game except for Vala, who very much hyper carried that game for Swedish House Mafia. 129,000 hero, 190,000 siege damage. They did a pretty good job, both able to wave clear, but the difference is Sylvanas turns off forts.
Really, really close, making for an exciting game number 1. Could definitely see the possibility of a best of 3 here as we wait to get into our next map. What would you like to see? What have we not seen this evening that where you would like to go, Tetcher?
Let me check the bans quickly. Oh well, I just got sport for the map.
Unlucky.
um, I would really like to see us go to Volskaya Foundry, Jinxie. That's definitely the map
Oh,
I would like to see.
no. I don't like Volsky. I was hoping Curse Hollow. Like, that's what I wanted to see.
Same. I like Cursed Hollow, and it's just getting picked less and less these days, even though it's one of my favorite maps to cast because it is really fun. But in this case, we are heading to Volskaya Foundry. We're about to have some fun and interactive gameplay
Oh,
where
my favorite
people
point is where
stand
they stand.
still. That's always what I do when I cast alone. Usually, just like, all right, so this hero's having some fun interactive gameplay, and just super close up on whoever's holding the point alone. Usually, while the team split pushes.
I always reference the, the Squidward meme where Squidward's inside and he's watching SpongeBob and Patrick run around and have fun. That's you. That's your solo laner on the point while the rest of the team gets to team fight and push. Like, wow, that looks really fun, guys. I can't imagine what that's like. I'm practicing my counting.
If someone can make that, that would be amazing. I love that. If someone makes that meme physically with someone looking through the blinds of Volskaya Foundry from the control point while the percentage goes up, please tweet it at us at Jinxeekatt on Twitter and at Tetcher on Twitter. That I would
I
love to see that.
can't take it does exist because I can't take the credit for the meme.
Okay.
Somebody posted it. I'm just a casual reposter. I had to figure out how to properly phrase that for a stream that's not my own. Um yeah,
Fair
you guys want to tap
enough.
to your casting, you got a meme lord, unlucky.
Get wrecked.
Hi
Uh,
role players.
feels good. Alrighty. We're going to be getting ready to jump in. Players are already here. We have another caster to get in. We also need to get Jinxie in here. Which I can do. Scroll. No,
I
I
would
can't.
like
I
to
scrolled the
see the
wrong
game
way.
too.
I
JS
scrolled
for
the wrong way.
Jinxie.
There we go.
There we go.
Jinxie is in. And I believe we have one more caster to get in. I remember someone saying something about Malgada getting in here. I don't know if they're done.
Any minute now.
I think we have a. Oh, yeah, Malgada is in here. My bad.
Oh,
He's just currently on Swedish House Mafia. There we go. Which means we don't have all our players either. Also, it looks like there is either a team swap, either a account change, or someone's in the wrong lobby.
Hmm.
Because I don't remember Yasu being in that last game.
Yeah, neither do I. I feel like we might be getting trolled again, which it's really just why are you doing this? Like
Well,
there
again,
there are
it might
people
be a sub.
Make's in the lobby. Yeah, they are booted.
Okay, yeah, they left. Alrighty. We good. Yeah, I was just checking their roster. Yeah, there is no Yasu. They do have a sub, but it's not Yasu. It
Hmm.
is Azerite.
Oh, that's a good name.
It's a very good name. I assume it's a rock. Things that end in I to sometimes a rock.
It
Honey.
is a rock from Battle for Azeroth.
Ah, that makes sense. Alrighty, so we're missing Gia. Gia is pending, and we will have everyone in. Lobby is full. Feels good. Ladies and
Good
gentlemen,
stuff.
it's going to be game number 2. Feels good between these two teams. Again, Washed Up versus Swedish House Mafia. That first game was bloody close, and I'm excited for game number 2.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of good stuff. The biggest thing here, of course, is those forts don't come back. So maybe, I don't know, consider banning the Sylph because it's insane. Looking at other things that could be picked up here. Rexar, I've seen a lot of lately. I never really thought about Rexar on Full Sky. I know he was kind of the old OG back when he was super, super buff, but you can just throw that Misha on there, especially if your opponent has 99%. Just have Misha put like one paw on and then reset it and then one paw, and it's really annoying.
It is pretty solid. All right, we're getting alrighty, we're getting a new host so we can get the other French caster in, and then I think we're gonna be good. Feels amazing. All right, so we're loading in very shortly once we have the right caster in for game number 2, which could be the final game. If it Washed Up are able to take out Swedish House Mafia for the second time. You were mentioning banning that Sylve though, and I feel so bad for Swedish House Mafia because let's count the target bans that we actually have to do now. Chromie, Chromie, Junkrat, Medivh, Sylvanas, Ana. There's so many target bans. It's just brutal.
Just pick them all. That's a terrible team comp, but you could pick it. You wouldn't have a tank, but you could pick it. That's
Junkrat,
5 heroes.
Ana, Sylve. Yeah, Tank Medivh, I guess is the closest you have there.
They have a
Tank
protected
Junkrat,
in there.
yeah, Tank Junkrat. Anytime anyone goes near him, he total mayhems. Easy peasy. And he has all that CC. Alrighty, so I think we have everyone in now. I think we are good. So we're just getting ready for the ready up, and will be good to go. I hope
I
so.
don't know about Yasu
They're
is
calling it. The other caster has said it is, so all we can do is assume they are.
okay.
I'm pretty sure Yasu's French, so that would make sense to me.
For sure. All right. Well, I feel a little bit bad booting him out then.
We didn't know. It's
Yeah.
all good. I mean, there's one
Okay.
easy way to check, and that is to quickly jump to French, and I'm going to have a quick look at the French stream. and
Alrighty. All
but it's
right.
we
We are
have ready
gonna hop
from
in
one
here.
team.
Maka Crown and okay. We need who is the host?
That
Oh,
would be our producer.
all right. Well, Maka is not banning, but that's all right. There's a big issue, then
Well,
we
if it,
can leave.
yeah, if they're concerned, we will quickly leave and remake. Alrighty.
So, what can we expect to see on Voldrya Foundry, Mephisto?
Mephisto's a good one. That should be a fun one to see. On the other side, we could see again Li Ming. There's less things to actually block her shots here. Sylve is again absolutely fantastic, especially as Merc Queen gains value on this map, because turrets, Mercs are wherever you want them to be.
Oh man, like Medivh's good and all, but I seriously would ban the Sylve. I feel like Medivh inconveniences a lot and he can set up for the team, but like Nick Sylvanas has just been killing people. And like all the setup in the world, like that's annoying, but if you can just work around it and don't die. It's not the same as, well, she bansheed in and, you know, now the whole backline's dead. We've got a Blaze and, I don't know, Lucio left because they can do a whole heck of a lot. I really think this should be a Sylvanas ban here.
There's a joke to be made about Nick killing Skook a couple times there, because Skook means forest, as Sylvanas.
Oh no! R.I.P. Sildrass, I'll never forget.
Medivh is taken out. It's still going to be Hasu, who eats all the target bans. And that still leaves D.Va. We forgot D.Va from that list of auto bans. D.Va's still available. We still have, like you say, the Chromie, the Sylvana. Oh no, we don't have Chromie. Chromie is banned. But we still have the Sylvanas. This is just brutal. This is savage. This might be wrecked.
And I see the Tyrael ban a little bit too good in that last game. Huge plays from the side of Swedish House Mafia. And I feel like we're getting into, as D.Va is immediately picked up this time by Swedish House Mafia, we're getting into like the end card of a really high value tournament here. And as such, it's like pros are like, oh yeah, guess we better play Tyrael. Tyrael's still good.
Always the way. Alrighty. It always happens at offline tournaments. It's a little rarer in online ones, but it's still nice to see.
That was just so crazy. Like, Tyrael never gets changed. And it's play all the fun and interactive and crazy tanks all throughout the season. Then you get to the end and it's solo Tyrael only. Who gets Tyrael GG?
Yeah, I love how Tyrael and Falstad are the two heroes who had the biggest... and Sylvanas. The heroes who had massive heroic changes. And like several weeks before their heroic change was announced, the lesser used heroic became meta. Sylvanas mind control to just isolate and kill single targets with single target burst comps. Old Sanctification, where it took up half the entire screen. It used to be picked all the time. And who was the last one I said?
Falstad.
And Falstad. Shock and Awe. No, I don't remember what that was called. The big stun heroic, where basically the support would cleanse them and they just drop the massive AoE stun, or use it to follow up on a big CC tank like ETC, and you'd get like 9 seconds of stun between ETC and Falstad.
It was really amazing there for a while, but then you gotta kind of feel bad for the devs with these big heroic changes. Like, how amazing is it that okay, this isn't working the way that we want it to. We're gonna pick up a new heroic for this hero, and then the other one is still more value. The top into every single one of those heroes, nearly. Sanctification, I mean, pretty much the same. They changed it a little bit, and that's now the meta pick. But Gust, Wailing Arrow, just too good. No matter what they throw at it, there's not a whole lot better.
Very true. So, let's jump in. Gul'dan and Greymane to finish that off. Gul'dan, Drain Hope Tracer, I guess. That could be entertaining. I do like that they stole Malfurion away, seeing the predicting the Tracer. So Tracer still gets picked up. It's going to be a Shield Tracer build with positive shielding. Or Ruby, I guess, could also work with Tracer. Both could get value. Let's see which one they go for. Final pick for Washed Up now.
I know. I want to predict it, but I cannot think for the life of me what this could be. Hanzo.
Hanzo coming in. Very long range. Going to be harder for Garrosh to get onto. A little bit more vulnerable to Greymane, so we'll have to pay attention to that. Should be difficult to deal with. That Hanzo going to be good to finish off targets that Tracer goes in for, or vice versa. Both of them have good finishing potential. Of course, the classic Johanna Condemn into Dragon Arrow. Unless we see the weird Korean style where you go scatter arrow and you go for the auto attacks and you try and get cooldown reduction on aesthetic dragons, which means you're committing to level 20. It exists. It's a talent style. Maybe it would be good against Malfurion, but just I think the dragon arrow might be a big deal here.
I love the dragon arrow. Whenever you see aesthetic dragons, unless you get like an ETC mosh pit to set it up, and you're just like, ooh, ah, pretty as you walk away. because it is a really
Very
cool
true.
animation. If it's anything to go by the ancient heroes text, Washed Up have more Overwatch heroes on their team, so therefore they win.
It's true. There you go. The ancient paths carried down from HGC Pro's past. What was the first Overwatch hero? Was it Hanzo?
Tracer.
Oh, it was Tracer? Fair enough.
That's when I started playing a different MOBA, because that was not fun. But we are going to hop in to Volskaya Foundry, game number 2, our best of 3 series. Over here on the left-hand side, we have OK Mech, also known as Cure, on that Urel. Banana H is your Deckard. Hasiwabs on that Hanzo. Nick gonna be playing that Tracer, and Masquerade on the Johanna.
Whereas on the right-hand side, needing to get a 2-0 now, 2 games in a row to win and make their way to the semi-finals, it is going to be Swedish House Mafia with Skoog on the Diva. We have Burger on the Garrosh, aka Bergolt. Galnagunna on that Malfurion. Maka going to be playing a gul'dan, something he is insanely good at. And Gia going to be busting out the Greymane. Potions for days, scattering the battlefield already. And Masquerade in a little bit of trouble, but Ironskin still a good ability.
Immediate follow-up from the team. OK Mech may have jumped. Yep, there they go. Fighting off a little bit more than they can chew, trying to get the knockback onto some of those squishies, end up paying with their life. You need just a couple of tower shots there. We'll take a look at these level 1s, and it is Dauntless. So they had the armor, just were blown up.
It did indeed. Johanna, by the way, used her medallion to prevent herself being caught in Galnagunna's root, which prevented the throw of Garrosh. A little bit scared of that 5-minute cooldown now, so that will be up at about 5 minutes 40. So we'll keep an eye on that. We also have the liquid cooling once again coming in for Diva. Going to be spending less time in lanes in this case, which means the liquid cooling is going to be a little less. The full metal is going to be a little less important, so they can just rely on the big healing in team fights instead.
Are going to see Hondo getting stunned out there, immediately jumping over the wall with that natural agility, going to fight it out over this biotic emitter. Masquerade is on the point. They are able to not cap it. A Skoog comes in at the last second. Out comes that Johanna Ironskin. The healing pulse still not dropped, and it is going to be stolen away by Swedish House Mafia, who burned the turret for it. Also going to pick up Masquerade as an added bonus.
They get the kill. They even look for Banana Rage, chasing him down a bit, but he will survive. That was very nicely executed. I was kind of surprised why Gia wasn't diving deep, but it ended up just really helping them out, staying in that ranged form as they were able to get out of there and finally pick up the kill at the end. Very nicely done, well executed, and well survived. They are now able to play aggressive and try and steal the enemy's turret camp. They're looking for the full item section. They use their own turret, so give us yours.
Hanzo's up in the top lane, couldn't get up quick enough, and as such, Washed Up just had to give it away. Nick gonna try and get a little bit of damage onto Skoog, but that is a fully returnable health bar, easily replaced, so not a huge amount of damage done there. And I like this Garrosh into the Tracer a little bit more than we saw versus the our match number 2. I cannot remember the life of them.
Masquerade. A little bit of trouble. Take some shots. Not going to be enough to focus them down because it is just Greymane for the moment. Sorry, the other team in match number 2, you say? And that was Ross?
Yes.
Orphea?
I wanted to call them Russian dolls, and I knew that wasn't right. We are going to see this, you know, game number 2. We're going to see Burger stepping on this point, getting the early channel, 20% out here. Siege camps are being cleared by the teams up in the top lane. The Swedish House Mafia is already going down. They're going to have to stack that up, clear out that camp from the side of Washed Up, and as such, going to just continue to give Swedish House Mafia, oh, as Tracer goes down, give them an even better chance to get this first protector.
Galnagunna staying quite far back on the point. They're up to 78%, with now a kill advantage, taking out Tracer. Also, 3 kills to 0, currently in favor of Swedish House Mafia. 93, 94. Is Johanna going to attempt to step on the point? Nope, they let the Protector go over to Swedish House Mafia, first Protector of the game.
Just gonna have Garrosh in it right now, and Burger actually gonna swap out so Galnagur and Gul'dan can get in. The biggest thing they want to claim up here is going to be that fountain in this top lane. They want to try and make it as difficult as possible for the teams to be able to get this second Protector. However, there's going to be a little bit of pushing down here in the bot lane from Skoog and Gia, and the Protector seems to be more of a distraction as OK Mech finally coming down to deal with this.
OK Mech having to deal with a Mech has given up on the first one, now gone to the second one as they try to put some pressure onto Skoog. Skoog now going to be ignored in exchange for Gia, who's going to have to go on a nice roundabout to try and escape. Gets the invisibility from Eyes in the Dark and the throw from Burger. Skoog gets the 1v1 versus Hasu as they go quite deep. Knockback from OK Mech and will allow Masquerade to escape. Gia lives, they get the kill. Couldn't have gone better for Washed Up unless they get this kill, in which case it could have gone better.
Jeff's going to continue to push down here now, as turns out D.Va's pretty gosh darn good now. Standing in that extra range allows her to do bonus damage as Cassia was just melted there. They don't manage to grab that top fort. Mech doesn't really even get anything at all, but it caused the distraction, which was enough, as this bottom fort is going to pay the price.
Skoog clearing up. He's going to see this camp being taken. Is he going to go for it? He's got his own support camp. He can't risk it. He lets it go. That is going to be Bartka Mitter claimed by the side of Washed Up. But turret camp stolen away again by Swedish House Mafia.
Still an item advantage over to Swedish House Mafia. 2 turrets and a heal pulse to 1 turret and 1 heal pulse. Or no, they don't have a turret. Do they? Did you all have a turret?
Johanna has support. Nope, no turrets. They've
no
yet to pay the turret.
All right, so 3 turrets and a heal pulse versus just that biotic emitter on the side of Washed Up. Out comes the dragon arrow and the falling sword. Nice into the fray, or out of the fray by Garrosh. They are going to get the throw. Incredible Twilight Dream. Immediately shutting Tracer down. Out comes the Stay Wild and Listen and the Ardent Defender as the members of Washed Up are just trying to get out of here. They hated, they don't want to be here. Biotic Emitter not dropped at all by Johanna. Other members that were low getting out quickly, and Tracer just dying before most of us could blink.
MVP currently, absolutely Burger. Throwing Gia to safety twice and then throwing Tracer into death. Fantastic Twilight Dream and Taunt setup, like you said. This is right now all about Burger with these incredible tosses.
Makes sense why the Garrosh has banned out so much against them. They're not only pulling their own way, but the weight of everybody else with these incredible plays here. Just throwing them all on his back, literally.
He is the carry, but only in very short increments while he picks you up to throw you. As they look for the Johanna. In the meantime, OK Mech and Nick into the backline, but Gia tanking through that classic 10 armor, keeping them alive here as they're going to make their way up the top lane. D.Va, in the meantime, has pushed all the way up to the keep wall here.
Will be just another moment. We see Nick getting out some harassment before this control point unlocks. This is going to be so hard for Washed Up, I feel. Just, I think everybody on the side of Swedish House Mafia has an item.
Let's check. Burger does not. Galnagur, what did they drop? Because yeah, they should have something. They should have something. They must have dropped a turret somewhere. Unless they just haven't picked one up. Oh, it's because the enemy's turret wasn't off cooldown yet. They were waiting for another one. Fun interactive gameplay.
Standing on the point. You love to see it.
Okay, let's actually watch something that's happening. Push in the mid lane. Try to put some pressure onto Gia, who gets caught in the route again, but they don't have to follow up this time. Galnagur are going to come help out, and Skoog comes up to help out. They're going to force everyone back. Turret does survive. Takes a little bit of damage, though. Not looking very healthy.
Just a case of Who can push where now? How can you get an advantage over on your team? Trying to get the soak. Nobody really even minding that Garage has the full protector. No one contesting it on the side of Washed Up. A lot of cleaning on the side of Washed Up.
They are. They're just trying to get some pressure, get some experience, keep themselves in the game that way. Also, big news! They got their first turret of the game! Nick able to
clap.
The support can.
Claps in chat.
Protector puts some pressure on, takes half the fort, but they're not going to go too much further, and they're instead going to turn their attention to mid lane and take out the towers there. Quick XP boosts. Okay, Mech runs into Scoo, gets the mini stun, taunt, focus, and that is a big burst, throwing him up in the air to deny the other defender.
Burger throwing out Gia there. We have to go for the throat coming out, and yeah, to kind of laugh. He threw him up, but in the process hit everybody with the pulse bomb on the team. So whoops! Are gonna see this protector take this? No, maybe take the middle fort.
It has 7% health in 11 seconds. As you always say, a quote I have stolen from you 100%, drop your support off responsibly, as Malfurion is going to be delivered all the way back to their own towers.
That's a responsible driver. No dropping your Malfurion under the fort.
Interesting to see here. D.Va, by the way, diverting power. First time we've seen this talent in all the D.Vas we have seen today. Every time D.Va reduces damage dealt, D.Va's mech is healed for 66 health. This is against a Tracer, meaning if she can catch D.Va, if she can catch Tracer, it's every time that Tracer deals damage, meaning D.Va could basically fully heal herself off of one Tracer clip.
Have to be careful then on the side of Washed Up, because they've been trying to do a lot of poke damage onto Tracer. Throw into the root, incredibly done. Deckard goes down. Nick can do nothing but skirt past. Dragon Arrow came out, really just delayed the inevitable.
Yeah, caught everyone except for Maka on that gul'dan, and as such, Maka was able to finish the job with a Fell Flame due to not being stunned. Good attempt, but even better kill from Swedish House Mafia, as they finally take out top fort. Mid fort also not looking the healthiest right now, so they're just going to have to deal with that later. Burger's like, nope, absolutely not, and teleports away from everything. And look at that, he can't even hurt Skoog anymore when he is in the defense matrix. Tracer Nick cannot hurt Skoog without the pulse bomb.
At this point, I mean, Skoog is just healing more in the fight than out of it. We are going to see Malfurion going down. Johanna having to use that falling sword to get away. Okay, Mech looking for the backline of Swedish House Mafia, but Burger is too on point, not letting any of their squishy members take any damage.
Really nicely done. Both teams using the biotic emitters to try and defend themselves, but the dive from Nick too good to pick up that kill. And now another biotic emitter gonna be taken to replace the one they just used. Nicely done. Washed Up. They're 2 levels down, or 1 level down, basically. But they're in the game. And they are in the game very solidly now. They're already even on talents, and they're gonna be ready to contest this bottom objective. Right now, the race is on to soak for 20.
Neither team wanting to fight before 20 here. Picks will be key if they want to try and speed this process along, but taking a 5v5 now I feel would be foolish on either team's part, considering that it's just a 50-50 split here which way the fight can go. Nick able to skirt around that Warbringer, and Burger getting set up nice and comfy, looking to head down to that bottom lane. And this is the first time I think I've actually ever seen Tracer playing so cautiously around a Garage. They know that Burger won't hesitate to just throw them into the back line and follow up with the stun. Very quick reaction timing there from Burger.
In some cases, just hit the R button, guarantee Tracer standing still, because you mentioned it earlier, that go for the throat on Greymane gonna make it a lot easier to pick off Tracer. Speaking of Tracer, goodbye, runs away from Gia.
Still very annoying in the backline. Everyone on the side of Swedish House Mafia having to stay on their toes. Garage once again standing on the protector point, and no one on the side of Washed Up really even seems to care about these. To be fair, they haven't gotten a whole lot of value. We're 13 minutes into the game, 14 minutes just about, and we've lost 1 fort.
Not looking great for the side of Washed Up, but they can still make their way back in. Dragon Arrow is sidestepped. Falling Sword is cleansed with the medallion, but Maka still falls. The commitment is there. Twilight Dream comes out, but it's not enough. Only catching Johanna and Yorel. And as such, they are just able to tank their way through, escape. They get the kill. Garrosh once again finds himself with a protector. This is the classic style of Volskaya games where the protector was so bad that people would literally get it, drop it off at their own buildings, and just leave it because it was that bad. In this case, it's because they can't afford to have Garrosh in that protector, because if he's in the protector, they have no way to lock down Tracer.
Gonna get Malfurion and D.Va in there now, and this is a really defensive protector. We can see, okay, Mech hopping in, trying to get a little bit of damage on it. And as we get closer and closer to 24 Washed Up, they're picking up more momentum. This is going surprisingly well for them. There's objective and a Talontier advantage on the side of Swedish House Mafia, and they're shaking in their boots, staying in their base.
They clear it out top lane. Gul'dan is back. He'll be able to grab the experience up there. But like you said, with that numbers advantage, we are going to see Washed Up get to level 20. They even out the talents again. Masquerade goes for a ride. Nick eats a robot fist to the face, but is able to back away. Everyone lives, and they hit level 20. And is Heaven's Fury, Jinxie, and it's already used.
Gonna be up in probably 10 seconds here. Yeah, 15 seconds on that Falling Sword. This is why you pick the, the Falling Sword, because you can just continuously spam it. It's incredibly frustrating to deal against. Burger is so very low, and finally the Titan falls. Great stay a while and listen, but it's in the middle of the D.Va mech. Banana Age taking a ton of damage. Scoot has to get back in that mech there. Malfurion going down. Yorel being traded out for the D.Va mech, and she may be, yep, there it is.
They don't know. They don't know. Yeah, he's gonna port.
Oh my, does he get out?
He gets out. They didn't know he went that way. That is still gonna be, though, a 3-for-1 in favor of Washed Up. Finding the kills perfectly, the beautiful Dragon Arrow to pick off the Garrosh. They have Bullseye for even more stuns, and while that was a good Astral Communion from Malfurion, it again wasn't enough to finish anyone off due to the zoning, stay a while and listen, combined with Respect the Elderly.
You really have to appreciate the washed up playstyle that we've seen in both these games now, which is kind of just lose until you win. They've taken a bunch of really solid team fights here, and it just, in the late game, none of that early stuff matters. I mean, they've done such a great job of holding on to their structures. Yeah, we finally have lost all 3 of our forts, but keeps are still quite healthy, and now the map is basically Washed Up's playground. They've grabbed all the camps. The whole map is painted blue. Save that siege camp. And now we've got Swedish House Mafia on the back foot.
Big Fear, Cab Steel, see you nerds, the heist of the century. Bullseye does not land, and Maka gets out. Very cheeky Burger, though. Indomitable first. Does he have Medallion? Might have to use it. He's in trouble. Stun, Falling Sword. Burger, he's dropped. He taunts, but he gets taken out. Here comes the big dive. Skoog trying to do stuff, but Gia is getting focused so hard. The stuns from Mech. He is invisible. There we go. Scatter Arrow gets the kill, and again, Washed Up are just rolling them now.
This will definitely be the fort going down here. Nick not looking to chase the kills, instead opting to get that building pressure instead. And minions are quite far away, so we should only see the fort unless Johanna plans to tank here. Looks like that exactly seems to be the case. Or Yorel instead with that Dauntless, gonna keep everybody nice and healthy. Masquerade should swap here in a moment as Deckard is able to heal them back up. Here comes the 3-man of Swedish House Mafia, looking to just try and defend this keep. That's the big thing right now.
Pulse Bomb does not land. Marco will survive. Skoog trying to put pressure on. He's gone for the timing attacks and more missiles. This will be very good for zoning people away, and it forces Mech and Masquerade to back up. Titanic might as well, going to be very useful. Extra throw, getting that second target with the throw might allow Garrosh an extra chance to grab that Tracer, but they gotta do this right now. The most threatened player and hero on this map is Garrosh, played by Burger, who was doing so good earlier, but now the sheer damage output and the sheer amount of stuns coming in from Washed Up is making Burger the most fearful hero on the map, because he is always the target.
We have that bullet spray and the get stuffed from Tracer. It really increases the pulse bomb coming out, and I think this melee is what is doing it. It's big burst coming out. gul'dan finally finishing that level 1 talent. Urel having to use that Seraphim. Out comes the Dragon Arrow. Out comes the Falling Sword. Malfurion blasted away. Make trying to heal up. Tracer having to recall. Drops the turret. That is going to be Garrosh and Greyman going down. Next is gul'dan. And it just doesn't matter how much armor Garrosh has. There's so much damage coming out now. Like you said, Scoog not getting hit by Masquerade there does drop that mech. Keep will go down in the top lane, and now it's just one D.Va versus the world.
And D.Va hold against the full 5-man. Here comes the slow, the root damage for healing, trying to hold. Scoog under tower, he's under keep to try to stay alive. There's the roll, concussive blast, but the bullet spray finishes the job. And with 20 seconds left, their core race is pretty bad, but it should be enough, Jinxie.
As long as Nick doesn't get caught in the AoE splash of that core, then this is most likely game. 55%. Okay, mech on the core now as well. Yep, there we go. GG.
That is it. The game and the series.